Hey, welcome to Estevan TV. I'm at pushgapradio.com.
Pushgapradio.com. Bridging the gap between old school and new school radio. Pushgapradio.com. It's Dallas, baby.
Pushgapradio.com, Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Hey, from Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth, Pushgap.
Ooh, girl, you can't hear how Dallas, Fort Worth works. This is Jackie.
What up, y'all? This is Jackie.
Of Shaka Ford 1 and the main event show.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
There's a little something like that.
Shaka Ford 1 and the main event with me, the Queen D, Jackie up. Heard exclusively on Push Gap Radio. Giving you 2 scoops.
PushGapRadios.com in Dallas and Fort Worth. Thank you for logging on to another edition of Shaka 401 in the main event on PushGapRadios.com. Here's to Joe Lewis this week, Dallas, Fort Worth. Angela Yee leads the Breakfast Club. We'll break that down for you. 2 great movies to check out. Day Shift with Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg, and Uncharted with Mark Wahlberg and Antonio Banderas. We'll get into that. Primary topic is the decline of black media. We'll break it down so that you can understand all of that. My old man used to say, you never got time to do it right, but your ass always got time to do it over. With Shaka 401 in the main event on PushGapRadios.com. Go to work.
And he was shocked that in South Africa we had all these titles. And he said to me, he said, well, you know, Trevor, if you go out to America, they'll label you as black. And I said, really? He was like, oh, hell yeah. Yeah, buddy, everybody's black out there, yeah. You'd be super black. Oh, well, that sounds good to me. Super black. Yeah. And I made a choice. It's like, first chance I get, I go out to America, I'm going to get a piece of that black. And I did, boarded a flight. It was an 18-hour journey, Johannesburg to New York. I didn't sleep a wink. I just sat there in my chair like a madman, watching every single black American movie I could find. Just sitting there going crazy, practicing like, yeah, you know what I mean, yeah. King Kong ain't got shit on me, yeah. Sorry? Oh, the chicken, please, the chicken, thank you. That's fine, thank you. Yeah, put it in your mouth, yeah. 18 hours of flying, 18 hours of practice. I landed in New York and I was fluent in my black American. For shizzle my nizzle. Everything. I had the walk, I had the talk. I was so black, I was even laughing. I was like, ha ha ha! Yeah! Ha ha! Oh, my man. Oh, this you? Ha ha! That for me is the coolest thing in the world. Black Americans are so cool and confident. They'll make you feel good about yourself just by asking if you are you. It's magic. They just walk up to you and be like, hey yo, this you? This you? No, for real, man, this you? And you'll be like, yeah, I think it is, yeah.
PushGapRadio.com in Dallas and Fort Worth. Welcome back to another episode of Shaka 401 in the main event on PushGapRadio.com. First and foremost, if you could for us, could you please like, subscribe, and leave a comment? Let us know what you think. If we suck, please let us know. Okay. Jackie tells me to quit saying that. But hey, if we suck, man. Okay, let us know. We're just trying to do the best that we can do for you, our amazing audience. The Breakfast Club is officially over, according to its co-host Angela Yee. Yee sent shockwaves across social media on last Tuesday night with a cryptic tweet, as she suggested there's some bad news for the fans of the hit radio talk show. The Breakfast Club, as you know it, is officially over, according to the 46-year-old Yee. The hit Power 105.1 FM morning show airs on over 100 stations nationwide and racks up over 8 million listeners each month, according to the Nielsen data. Now, I like to watch a lot of the clips of their various interviews and whatnot. Not really a Breakfast Club fan, so to speak, but they do have some good bits that I check out. A couple of full interviews I've watched on their show, but not the complete show, but the interviews, you know. Minister Farrakhan, I've watched him, and people of that ilk who are talking about something. Okay, but yeah, Angela Yee is now off of the Breakfast Club. Though Yee remained tight-lipped about the cryptic announcement, she tweeted, "God is good," just 15 minutes prior. Now, her co-hosts, Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy, have yet to comment as of the recording of this program. Angela Yee revealed that she'll be stepping away to start her own show. Something she's been wanting to do for years, even before the pandemic, she said. Said the guys will obviously continue on, be a different interaction on the show. But she says she has her own show at iHeartRadio. The new show is titled Way Up with Angela Yee. Say DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God will continue the Breakfast Club, but it's unclear if they're looking to bring on someone to replace her. So good luck to you, Miss Yee. Good luck to you, sweetie. You know, even though things look successful on the outside to people, you know, you want to do some other things. You know what I'm saying? Things get great, but I don't know. Once you get things down to a science, they say, you tend to get bored. You know, you got that. So good luck to Angela Yee, mine. 2 movies for you to check out if you are into movies like myself, because according to Chris Arnold from the most powerful radio team in the annals of radio, Skip Murphy and Company. Skip Murphy and the morning team here in Dallas-Fort Worth for 15 years reigned supreme. Chris Arnold always used to say that movie watching is a sport. I believe him on that. Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg in Day Shift. If you haven't checked it out, put that on your list to check out when you got time to chill out and have nothing going on. If you already watched it, you already know. Amazing movie. We're about to get into the decline of black media. But amazing movie, mine. It's about a hardworking dad out to provide for his daughter. Uses a boring pool cleaning job as a front for his real gig of hunting and killing vampires, mine. Snoop didn't really have a big part. I thought he would have a bigger part than he had. But very good movie. Giving you a recommendation here. Don't want to give any spoilers or anything of that nature. Just want to let you know what's going on if you yourself are a movie fan. Another good movie was Uncharted with Mark Wahlberg and Antonio Banderas. Treasure hunter Victor Sully Sullivan, played by Mark Wahlberg, recruits a street-smart Nathan Drake to help him recover a 500-year-old fortune amassed by explorer Ferdinand Magellan. They got to get their hands on it before Santiago Moncada, played by Antonio Banderas, gets his hands on it. They can work out and decipher all the clues. They stand to find $5 billion in treasure, but only if they can work together. Very good movie. I enjoyed it. Loved it. So put those 2 on your list. Uncharted and Day Shift, mine. Now we're delving into decline of black media. One of my problems is when you go to Netflix or you go to the Fire Stick, how come you can't find any black movies? They have the Nollywood movies. They have these, I don't know what you call them, artsy movies. The movies with the closed caption at the bottom. I can't really watch those because I can't watch the movie if I'm reading the damn movie. But you never have black movies. You scroll for 15, 20 minutes before you run across one black movie, which is probably Madea. Okay? Are white people really that narcissistic and racist? You got Hispanic movies, Asian movies, Indian movies, all with titles you can't pronounce. Nary a black movie. What's up with that? I don't understand. It's like you just don't want black people to be in anything. You really hate us that much that you can't put up a damn movie, but you want me to pay for your service, right? Nothing from me, of course, just like everything else in this freaking country. Democrats want my vote, Stacey Abrams in Georgia, but there's nothing in it for me. You want me to pay for Netflix and whatnot, but no black movies. You got everyone else, though. Just sick of it, man. It's just stupid. I just don't understand it. Maybe it's just me. I like watching movies with people in it who look like I do. Okay. But delving into the decline of black movies, of black media. Mainstream media always promotes the worst of black society. The media, movies, the government, television purposely manipulate people into believing black people are subhuman. Mainstream media is garbage. The masses are being fed filth, stupidity, and garbage about black folk in the name of news, media, and entertainment. Garbage in, garbage out. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. White mainstream media continues to feed the public filth, ignorance, and degeneracy. Can't read my own writing here. But they do this for their own benefit and our degradation, to make themselves look great and to make us look like thugs, crooks, and criminals. We know who the thugs, crooks, and criminals are. Pookie shot Ray Ray, but you went and bombed the whole country in the name of America, freedom, and liberty, right? But they do this for their own benefit and degradation, white folks do. The only way most white folk get to see black people is on TV. To them, we're either superstars or crooks, athletes or entertainers, or doing a perp walk on the 6 o'clock news. The average person can't relate to either of those, not the average white person or the average black person. You envy the superstar and the thug you're afraid of. The portrayal of black people in media shapes perception in real life, you know. Know you're aware of that. A lot of folks believe what they see on television, in the movies. Whether you do it about Asians, you remember back in the day when you were a kid, if you were of a certain age, how they portrayed the Asians, the Chinese. I saw, remember that? I'm talking Walt Disney and all of them. That's how they portrayed these people. Portrayed that the Irish as a bunch of drunks. Okay. Portrayed the Indians as a bunch of savages. But the white folks were always pure as the driven snow. Civilized. He who controls your media controls your ass. But the portrayal of black people in media shapes perception in real life. First, we need to dismantle the stereotypes about black people. Think about when you get on an elevator with a white woman and she clutch her purse. Where'd she learn that from? This is based on the images that she's seen of black men in the media. All she see when she see a black man is danger. From all of us, no matter who we are, no matter how we're dressed, no matter how we speak, no matter how we present ourselves. She believes what she sees on television and from what she hears from her people about black folk. Goes back to the movie Birth of a Nation, where they planted the seeds back then that the black men were going to rape all the white women and do harm to the world. A lot of you may remember Birth of a Nation. It came out a couple of years ago. We're talking about Birth of a Nation came back out like 1913 or so. Way back. They premiered it in the White House. Sad. White media plays a role in all that. The portrayals, the stereotypes. They play into it all. They want to maintain a certain image of us. You ever check out the LeBron James cover on Vogue, where they got him holding the white woman, looking like what was the King Kong? Remember that? Then they had one where they had it side by side, him holding the white woman, screaming like a big ass ape, and then George Clooney in the pool with a white woman. You know, looking civilized. Why would Vogue use this on their cover? Because images are very powerful and they know that. Okay. The term is called racialism and is defined as involving ideals, images, and issues that are produced, distributed, and consumed repetitively. That means over and over and over and over again. It's repetitive. But unfortunately, stereotypes, biased frames, and historical myths about black people's culture are normalized in the process, particularly through media. Everything most white folk know about us, they learned it off TV and in the movies and on their nightly news. This is how we're portrayed. You ever notice, like when O.J. Simpson, Michael Jackson, these people go to court, the photos are dark. And if they got some other just regular schmo out there, they always bring up his record. This guy can be 112 years old. They'll go tell you about a jaywalking ticket he got back when he was 21. But the white folks are humanized. They make you see them as people. We're demonized. From altering our photos to the images they put up of us, mine. Now, here's a particular thing that went on. You may not remember. Because ultimately, these media representations shape and influence social ideology and behaviors. Also through dog whistles. Through words. Now, you may not remember, but if you're watching the YouTube channel, you'll see this picture. Hurricane Katrina, August 29th of 2005. My sainted mom's birthday, August 29th, as well as Michael Jackson. A Yahoo story had these two white people wading through the water. Next to it, they had a black guy wading through the water. The caption above the white people read, white residents wade through chest-deep water after finding bread and soda from a local grocery store. Here's what they said about the black guy. The photo caption of the black guy reads, man walks through chest-deep floodwater after looting a grocery store in New Orleans. This is how they portray us. It's always the bad thing. Even if we're the victim. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, whoever. They want to go back and find dirt. Look at Rittenhouse, the guy who went out there and shot those people. Every time white folk do something, they want to humanize them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's just a young man. He's just a young boy who went out here and his home was torn apart. His dad wasn't there and his mom did this and that. He was an honor roll student. He participated in the Peter Pan play. Let it be a black person. Oh, yeah, in kindergarten, he stole somebody's milk and he forgot to bring his homework in and he was disruptive and all kind of crap. White people distribute these images to the world so that other cultures and races see black people as gang-banging, crack-using black folk. So that when they start killing black people wholesale, nobody cares. Remember the Nazis with the Germans? Once they demonize you, no one cares. Look how they did the Indians when they stole this country. What do you think they printed in the newspapers? The Indians were savages. They were probably raping all the white women. Let them tell it. So when you went out to kill the Indians, they didn't care. Now it's supposedly our turn. They kill us in the street. No one cares. We're what's making America bad. Black folk. We learned how to kill from the best of the best. These white boys here in America. Except we don't slaughter wholesale. Again, Pookie shot Ray Ray, but he didn't go shoot up a movie theater. Didn't go shoot up a school. School's back in now. at the recording of this program, it's August 15th. How much money you want to bet on when the first school shooting goes down? But they do that to start setting it up so that when they kill us, nobody says anything because no one cares. They see us as the problem. So that when other people come to America, they have no problem abusing and killing us as well when they come here. In a way, we do contribute to our own destruction by not waking up to see what's going on around us. They shut all of our stuff down. Media. Remember when they bought BET? We're about to get into that momentarily. But when they shut down BET, first thing they got rid of was Ed Gordon and Jack A. Reed. The news. They've gotten rid of our radio stations. So we can't communicate with each other. Like one of the white guys said, the worst thing we ever invented was the internet, because now these niggas are talking to each other from New York to LA. Here's what's up with our black media. Check this out.
Every major city in the United States used to have 2 main black radio stations. We're now down to 1. Atlanta, I think, is now 1. I'm not sure. And I'm not talking about the hip-hop young people stuff. I'm talking about grown folks, mature radio that followed the format of a BLS or Kiss FM. We used to have 2. Now we got 1. New York has 1. Miami was stripped of its secondary radio, so now we don't get Steve Harvey. We only get Tom Joyner. I'm not in Miami. I'm up in Broward, but we get Miami's radio. Originally from New York, lived in Atlanta. Same thing happening. Stripped of the contemporary jazz station. CD 101.9 in New York, canceled. Smooth Jazz in Atlanta, canceled. Down here, I haven't heard 1. We have a bunch of hip-hop garbage. It's not even hip-hop. It's trash. Because I don't consider any of this stuff hip-hop. I'm from the hip-hop generation, and none of this stuff is hip-hop. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you want to call it. But it's a mess. I'm very sad to see the demise of black radio. It's terrible what's happening. The demise of black radio was insane. It's just, killing everybody. Killing everything off. Killing all of our stuff. BET sold to Viacom years ago. Essence magazine, our media, sold to somebody else in the hands of other people. Sold. It's amazing. What's happening with our media? We've lost control of our music. We've lost control of our creativity in our music. We've lost control of our TV shows. We've lost control of our radio stations. They're trying to kill us. There is an assault. I guess the trade-off for Obama? The trade-off was we annihilate everything that gives you strength and culture, and we give you this man in the White House? Because I'm not understanding what's happening here and why we've lost control. I don't understand why we've lost control of our creativity, of our media, of our music, of our news, which news is a source of main information to keep the people aware of what's happening. So you cut our voices. Why? The thing is that behooves me is how we allowed this to happen. And for people to go and then just, we allow it. It's not even people. There's nobody to blame. You can't blame the white man. You allowed this to happen. We allowed it. So what's the strategy? I'm venting. I'm talking about it. What's the strategy? What is the strategy so this doesn't happen to us anymore? Is it independent radio? I guess that's the wave of the future anyway. Everybody's going internet.
Yeah. News is to keep the people of the community informed. We don't want you niggas knowing nothing. Don't want you to see us coming. It's sad. You can scroll and scroll and scroll and can't find a damn black movie on Netflix. But I want you to subscribe to my channel. Like the Democrats, I ain't gonna give you shit, but I want you to vote for me. How come we don't see black sitcoms anymore? WB, the CW. You know what they do? Is when they start these new channels to get their weight up, they run the black shows. Okay? That you don't see in today's media. Remember Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Moesha, The Parkers, 101, Bernie Mac Show, My Wife and Kids. Of course, The Cosby Show. Can't knock that. Can't forget it. The Hughleys. On and on. But nowadays, we ain't got nothing. There's Blackish, but it seems today that black shows are trying too hard to relate to too many audiences to please white folks. They do this to get their weight up. Martin, all of them. They bring these shows on. Then once they get their weight up, they got the views up. The Steve Harvey show was amazing. Loved it. Once they get their weight up on the WB and the CW and whatnot, now here comes Dawson's Creek, Twilight, the white shows. Now they don't give a damn about you anymore. I'm not really into chick stuff, but Girlfriends was a great show. But that's how they do us. They use us to get their weight up. See, they just use us. But of course we're going to watch because we don't have anything. Okay? You got nothing to watch. What black shows do you watch on television today? Used to love A Different World. These are some shows that I still watch today in syndication. Different World to me was better than The Cosby Show. But we don't have none of that today. They get their weight up on our back, and then they switch over to a white audience. I always wonder why a lot of the successful blacks in Hollywood don't make their own production studios like Tyler Perry. I think Will and Jada have a production company, but no one has their own. All the billions of dollars out there in black entertainment world, Jay-Z and these people, no one has their own. I don't understand that. You could be producing your own shows. They should be making their own production and distribution companies. It shouldn't be that hard since they're in the industry and have knowledge of the industry. I've been saying this all along. How come black folk ain't doing their own thing with all the money that you have? Maybe it's the Illuminati and they don't allow you to do that. I've heard tell that once you hit a certain level, that you can't help your people, like the Jews, the Asians. You can't help black people. The Oprah Winfreys, the Jay-Z's of the world. You notice when Oprah went to build a school, bad as a school was needed in Chicago, Illinois. Go Bears, baby. Won our preseason game against Kansas City. But yeah. Oprah had to travel all the way to Africa to build her school for girls. Now, they say it was just a sex trap for all these perverts, Weinstein and the guy who got killed in prison. But you didn't hear that from me. Okay. In living color. Yeah, she had to go all the way across the water to open up a school for those people. Because from what I understand, once you hit a certain level in America as a black person, you can't do shit for your own people. And once you get a taste of that money and that lifestyle, you ain't finna rock the boat. We should be making our own characters. And not the same BET stereotypical characters over and over again. And don't be like the others trying to wow weak-minded people with special effects because your story is garbage. You know, when Soul Food came out, there was no action. There was nothing exploding. Action movies is what I like. Action and comedies. It was just a nice movie about black folk that you didn't have to put no white people in. Remember, they told you black stuff don't sell. And Black Panther became the #1 movie in the Marvel, hero sphere. See what they tell you? It comes down to this. Black people ain't shit because white people told you ain't shit. White people are superior because white people told you they're superior. We need our own. Now, I remember when that movie Red Tails came out about the black pilots back in World War II. But it portrayed the Tuskegee Airmen's accomplishments as escorts to the white military pilots. Don't tell you about all the enemy planes that the black guys shot down. Remember, I told you on last week's show over there in France, the white boys got mad because this one little bar restaurant was letting the brothers come in there and drink. Here you got blacks and whites fighting each other, shooting at each other in another country because these people in this country didn't accept your racist views. Sad. The Tuskegee Airmen, because someone else is telling our story. We don't get to direct our own narrative and really tell you what it is we've done. Those people know what we've done. But it doesn't offer them the opportunity to show superiority if the black guys are showing them up. Black people in America are the only ones that expose white people's hypocrisy about white supremacy. That's why they hate you. They don't care about the Nigerians or the Haitians or whatever. They know that your ass shows them up. That's why they portray us like they do to the world. That's why they get rid of anything we have. Look at our music. Name me a black group today. Name me a black band today. I'm from Gary, Indiana, the Jackson 5. Last great group to me was New Edition. What was the #1 thing in our music? Congos. Drums. Want to understand about our music? Check this out.
Hey, just want to talk a little bit about what happened to black music. And that would be not just, in the United States of America, or not just R&B, but period. The black male voice has been also deteriorated in the music industry. They've gotten rid of the Teddy Pendergrass, Luther sound, full voice black male. You now have to have a thinned out tenor to be successful. Almost effeminate. Listen to The Weeknd. Listen to cats like that. They're very effeminate in their sound. There's no Barry White. There's no Isaac Hayes. There's no Melvin Franklin from the Temps. You can't have any fullness in your voice anymore. That's also strategic because our voices are so distinct and unique when used. If now black men don't even know how to use their full range. They think to sing and to be a good singer, I don't have a tenor, so I can't sing. So they just stop singing altogether. There's no groups. So now you have no harmony in your music. Harmony and groups brought together a sense of unity. You don't have groups anymore. There's no hip-hop groups because they had to pay more money now. They have to pay people. So they don't want to pay people. They don't want to pay groups. So now you have no groups. But you're allowed to have white groups. But there's no black groups. Why is that? It's not an accident. Well, I could go into that all day long about different theories about that. We don't have any facts. I don't have concrete evidence. But I think it's very, very odd that more of our artists are dying of these illnesses and these tragedies and these mishaps more so than white artists. I'm not saying that white artists aren't going out of here, but it's more so with our genius. I don't know, you haven't peeped that? But anyway, that's just my take on what happened to the music. It's all strategic. It's not by accident that our music is terrible. It's not by accident that hip-hop has been destroyed into garbage. It's not by accident. They've weakened our creativity or the ability to be creative. It's not that it's been weakened totally. It's still out there. You can still do it. But it's not by accident. It's all by design so that they could compete.
They can't compete. Dolly Parton made I Will Always Love You. Then Whitney Houston sang it. Love our culture, but hate the people. Two best national anthems. How many years has the national anthem been sang? Whitney Houston, Marvin Gaye. We're talking about the demise of black media. But yeah, there's an intelligence sector in the black community. We ain't all into hip hop. You notice every commercial, there's some rap song when they sell to us. Even though they sell to other people today, there's hip hop music in it. That's why they didn't like Allen Iverson. He projected a strong black man. White media can't have that. We have to break this guy. They keep sending out symbolism to us thinking we'll fall for it. Main reason I don't watch a lot of TV shows today. I watch a lot of YouTube on learning how to do things. Because always some buck dancing or bed winching. I'm learning how to get my YouTube views up and how to get more people to subscribe to the podcast, to download it. So if you could be so kind. Okay, we have 9 subscribers. We did get up from last week. We had 6. We have 9 now on our YouTube channel at Push Gap TV 1. Thank you for that. But even when it's something that's ours, it's not ours. Let's look at the Black News Channel and why they failed. Now, Byron Allen bought them. You know, Byron Allen also owns the Weather Channel. But he bought them for $11 million. The cable news channel was founded by Jacksonville Jaguar owner Shad Khan, had shut down in March. Byron Allen's Allen Media Group bought Black News Channel with plans to revive the bankrupt cable news outlet and significantly grow its distribution footprint. Now he's trying to get into HBCU football, not at prime time. Deion Sanders has went over there and changed things. And that's something else I've been saying forever. What if the black blue chip athletes went to an HBCU? I said that 10, 15, 20 years ago, fam. Now look what Prime has went and done. Not just changing Jackson State University, but all the HBCUs now. The brothers are coming to the HBCUs. They want to clown Deion for going out getting Travis Hunter, the number 1 college pick. And now they're mad because he's going to play for Deion Sanders. Talking about Deion gave him $1 million. Hell, Deion said, I don't make $1 million. This is how they portray us. Byron Allen's company is acquiring substantially all of Black News Channel's assets for $11 million, with the bankruptcy court in Tallahassee, Florida, signing off on the sale. They've been in 45 million homes, been on Comcast, Charter, and DirecTV. And Allen says this company can grow that to 80 million homes in the next 6 months. Don't know what he has in store for the lineup or the programming. I know, again, he's getting into the HBCU football. But Shad Khan had invested $100 million in it since 2020 launch before shutting it down in March. He ain't us. Why would you come from overseas and get into black news? Probably to push someone else's agenda, huh? The black folk just a cover. They just the face of what you really pushing. Now, Allen says they will deliver a best-in-class network to serve underserved African-American community and the advertisers who want to reach this extremely valuable audience. Good luck with that. These people have no interest in us. Where are the black-owned stations? Stevie Wonder used to own a radio station. James Brown owned a radio station. I think Gladys Knight owned a radio station. I told you about Skip Murphy and the morning team on K104 FM here in Dallas, Fort Worth. It was owned by a Jewish guy named Jaime. It's not black owned. Now, Allen, a comedian turned media mogul, has become one of Hollywood's most aggressive players, opportunistically acquiring digital media brands, cable networks, and local TV stations to grow his company. You know, he went to court a couple of years back because these stations wouldn't pick up his shows. And here begging the white folk, Comcast near, DirecTV near, to put his stuff on. All the money out there. Will Smith, Tyler Perry, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z, all these people, Michael Jordan, money. But you don't have your own. You have your own for you. Nothing for your people. Though that's not your job. It's not your job to come out here and provide for the people, you know, like the Jews do. Jews put up money to build things for their people. The Hispanics put up loot to build things for their people, to have their own. I know we've had our own, like Wall Street, and they burned it down. People ask that, well, why don't black people have their own? Why can't they get it together? Because the white folk don't come in and tear it up. They only appear to the world to be superior when they keep us down. You got to keep us down, man. You cannot come in here and have these people think, well, damn, these black people doing pretty damn good on their own. White folk can't have that. If they're telling you they're superior, who else can they put under their foot? As I taught you on last week's show, you do that to the Asians, somebody coming to see about them Asians. You do that to the Mexicans, somebody coming to see about them Mexicans. Do it to the Russians, there's going to be a phone call for them Russians. But you do it to ADOS, American descendants of slavery. No one's coming for us. We show the world that the white people are not superior. Now, Allen owns several things. He owns the Weather Channel, as I stated before, 27 local TV stations in 21 markets, and digital brands like the Griot and Comedy TV. Now, here's why I think they failed, the Black News Channel. Because ain't nobody, the grassroots folk, like regular black folk, ain't never really heard of the Black News Channel and didn't give a damn. Grassroots of the black community wasn't messing with BNC. Didn't support that crap. They weren't talking about our issues. Wasn't a true black channel. You talked about everything except our issues. Reparations, being gunned down in the street, getting rid of qualified immunity for police, being a protected people. You talked about Cinco de Mayo and everything else. I don't hear the Mexicans over at Univision talking about your black ass. You talk about everybody except us. Just wasn't a true black channel. Just non-black people using black folk as a front to push whatever their agenda was. Talking about the Democrats, immigration, the rainbow crowd. Every agenda except ours. And we tired of everybody else trying to be our representative. Don't need your help. We can tell our own story. Quit tearing all our shit down. All your stuff is to manipulate us. We need to be our own rep. Need to tell our own story. Need to lead our own narrative. They failed because they never discussed anything that black people wanted to hear or that black folk were discussing. None of our talking points. Again, getting killed unarmed in the streets, the wage gap, reparations. Shied away from all the issues that we were concerned with. And all of their talking points were just echoing or regurgitating white talking points. It's all about manipulation. Check this out.
I'm going to speak slowly so you understand me. Right now, you're being manipulated. This is master manipulation at its best, okay? If I wanted to manipulate a group of people, all I have to do is find an instance where this certain group of people was being targeted. I would highlight that in the media and run that on every news station in the world. And I would target the people that I want to be triggered by the very thing that I'm marketing. Once these people get exposed to this, it makes them feel like they're under attack constantly. Once you get a group of people who feel like they're constantly under attack, they start being the attackers. Once you get the people who felt like they were being attacked to be the attackers, the people they are attacking start attacking them. Now, with everybody being on edge about everybody, nobody trusts each other, and I can come in and control you because a group of people who are separated are easier to control.
Yeah. Manipulating to try to get your black ass to go out there and vote for them folk. Now, we used to have our own. You know that. Name two of the major magazines that black folk had. I'll give you a moment. You heard in the soundbite earlier, Ebony and Jet. Sold. Ebony magazine was founded in 1945 by John H. Johnson for his Johnson Publication Company. I went to the Johnson Publication Company when I was in elementary school from Gary, Indiana. And we went on a field trip over there, went to the museum, and we also got to go tour the Ebony Jet magazine building. Very interesting at the time. Didn't really realize the impact of it. You know, just knew it was a magazine. You're a kid, you don't know. But it was still an amazing thing to see black people doing amazing things for black people. You couldn't wait for Ebony magazine to drop every month. My mom got it. She didn't get Jet, but she did get Ebony. Later on, she got into Essence. But you couldn't wait to see who was Beauty of the Week in Jet magazine. Because it was FUBU. For us, by us. And it was amazing. You were proud. But Ebony magazine was founded in 1945 by John H. Johnson. And he sought to address African American issues, personalities, and interests in a positive and self-affirming manner. Its cover photography typically showcased prominent African American public figures, including entertainers and politicians like Dorothy Dandridge, Lena Horne, Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, former U.S. Senator Carol Moseley Braun of Illinois, U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama, Beyonce, Tyrese, and Tyler Perry. Oh, that came later, after its heyday. And they also selected the 100 most influential blacks in America. Remember all that? Look at you now. All that's gone. Now we have to deal with white media. What's a true black magazine? Though everything's online today. And even the stuff you check out, the Root, the Griot, I can't say the name. Begins with an H. I'll remember it. But it's owned by other people that are just using us to make money. After 71 years, in June of 2016, Johnson Publications sold both Ebony and Jet to a private equity firm called Clearview. Now the new publisher is known as Ebony Media Corporation. In 2020, they went bankrupt, and it was bought by $14 million by Junior Bridgman. Do you know who Junior Bridgman is? A lot of you probably have no idea. I remember him. Junior Bridgman, Ulysses Lee Bridgman, is an American businessman and former professional basketball player. Bridgman played in the National Basketball League for 12 years, from 1975 till 87, starting with the Milwaukee Bucks. He's the current owner of Ebony and Jet magazine. Despite never making more than $350,000 a season during his NBA career, Bridgman has a net worth today of over $600 million, making him one of the wealthiest former athletes in the world. Now it's about white media. We had BET we're about to discuss, but listen to what Malcolm X had to say about white media. Check him out.
The police are able to use the press to make the white public think that 90% or 99% of the Negroes in the Negro community are criminals. And once the white public is convinced that most of the Negro community is a criminal element, then this automatically paves the way for the police to move into the Negro community, exercising Gestapo tactics, stopping any black man who is on the sidewalk, whether he is guilty or whether he is innocent, whether he is well dressed or whether he is poorly dressed, whether he is educated or whether he is dumb, whether he's a Christian or whether he's a Muslim. As long as he is black and a member of the Negro community, the white public thinks that the white policeman is justified in going in there and trampling on that man's civil rights and on that man's human rights.
Yeah, cops can just come in and kill you because I lay it to other white folks to believe, man, you need to be scared of these niggas. They don't mind them gunning you down. And no one's coming to see about us. BET used to be owned by Bob Johnson. I read his book. And I did come to understand one thing. It's owned by white folk now. Viacom bought them back in the day. But I read his book, autobiography. He owns the Charlotte Bobcats, hence the name Bobcats, Bob Johnson. Get it? I read his book. He said the reason they ran so many videos on BET was because MTV was reluctant to play them. Now, you know, the first black video was Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. Because Sony or CBS, whoever Mike was with at the time, was going to pull all of their artists off of MTV if they did not play Mike. So old Bobby here said, since they would not play the black videos, I put on a few videos. Viewership went up. So the next month, I put on a few more videos. Viewership went higher. By the time it was all said and done, he was just running videos. He said, I'm in it to make money just like CBS, NBC, and ABC. I'm not here to be a voice for black people in America. I'm here to turn a buck. That's what the man said. But BET had toward the end started becoming trash. And now that the white folk own it, they just bastardized the black culture, man. And he wasn't putting out content that empowered us. But again, the man said he wasn't in it for that. According to BET, our heroes were supposed to be rappers, athletes, and actors. You remember last year's BET Awards? Whole show was just a bunch of damn immigrants and black LGBT and feminism. Twerking, hood and street dysfunction, everything anti-ADOS and family. Supposed to have been classy. Now, at hip-hop shows like the Source Awards and whatnot, you can kind of expect a little debauchery. Okay, I'll give them that. People are young. You're going to do stupid shit when you're young. Don't let They get away down. But back in the day when we used to watch the awards show, we watched for the talent. Great talent. Luther, Whitney, Prince, Mike. Tons of talented black people. Just sing and perform. Not this clown show shit we have today. Is there any real talent, or is everybody just another Kim Kardashian? You just famous for being famous. Not talented, can't play an instrument. And like Lil Nas X, these white folks just using these niggas to push their agenda. That's all it is. We being played and won't wake up to the fact that we're being played by these white people. Remember, old head told me one day, Shaq, some people don't want to be woke and will fight you to stay asleep. See, we don't have groupthink like other cultures. I bet you can't go out there and portray them damn Jews like that. The Indians shut down the Washington Redskins, the Cleveland Indians. I don't know about Florida State Seminoles down there, college football. They're not going to let you portray them like that. Niggas don't care because niggas only think of themselves. I got mine, you get yours. I got the bag. I got to look out for my family. Imagery is very important, people. Very important. Images are... Your brain does not think in words. Did you know that? Think right now. The brain thinks in images. These people know that. Your dumb ass don't. Not calling you dumb. Your brain thinks in images, not words. That's why imagery is so very important and so powerful. In them awards last year, you had black men dressed like children or sexual deviants. But when they showed the white man at the Black Awards show, he was dressed to impress with a very nice reserved suit on. Meanwhile, Lil Nas X, Kurt Franklin, I don't know what the hell Nick Cannon had on. There are many forms of warfare, and psychological warfare is one of them. Buck breaking was right on time at them awards last year at BET. It was the most embarrassing, ratchet, buck breaking, twerking event of the year, and BET is falling way off. These white people on it, not Viacom. The reason Viacom bought BET because they wanted to cultivate a black audience, but did not want to spend the money to take the time to build up that black audience. They wanted it instant. BET had it built in. So he sold. What would you have done? Would your black station been there to empower the people, or would you be trying to turn a buck? Whoever controls the media, the images, controls the culture. Which means they control your ass. When you look at how we're portrayed as black people and what's been done to us, we're set up to look uncivilized, over-sexualized, like savages. But all other races and cultures are set up to look dignified and civilized. Not us. See, we don't have our own media to tell our own story. They tore all our stuff down. Did you know before 1993, CBS, these other corporate media juggernauts could only own one radio station in a market? You know who deregulated that? Bill Clinton. Now, you can come in here and buy all the damn radio stations you want. Who do you think they bought first? See, up to a certain time, we had over 300 black radio stations. Now there are less than like 90 that are black owned. But yeah, they make us look like savages and uncivilized. That's always been the agenda. It's just us black folk who ain't caught on. Steph Curry. When they won the NBA championship in Warriors. You still sleepy. And we won't wake up. The 2021 BET Awards was a damn minstrel show. They wouldn't do half that shit if it was at a white award show. The Country Music Awards. The Latino Music Awards. You don't see that stuff there. And those same people will come to our stuff and show their ass. But get to their place and be civilized.
I really wish TikTok would give us more than a minute, because this person obviously needs to be educated on how well they've been manipulated by the media, television shows, movies, commercials, and even the government. Since slavery, slaves were portrayed as savages who were basically being tamed to protect white people. And then movies, commercials, and television shows started only portraying black people as villains, gangsters, and thugs. These things were done on purpose. And now you have statistics. And this meme that I've seen local people that I know, local police officers that I know, and even the president retweet. It is absolutely false. We've been manipulated so badly that I've heard people actually say that there were probably good slave owners and that some slaves probably enjoyed being slaves. We really need to stop doing this to our history. We need to stop sanitizing it and making it palatable for people, because people have to understand exactly what we are fighting for.
Yeah. We won't wake up, though. Like being asleep. Like being under the rule of white supremacy. That's how a lot of you are making it. Not you, because you're grassroots. You're on the team. You black folk. But we talking about them niggas out there. I got mine, you get yours. That's what it is. Portray us that way. And then why they gotta do all the gay shit that's targeted at our children? Why do the gays just get out here and just flamboyant with it? Why can't they just get on stage and perform? They know kids are watching. Even if you're pushing sex or the gay agenda, why don't you talk about safe sex? Let's talk about sex, baby. Salt and pepper. Remember Left Eye used to wear the condom? Promoted safe sex. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have sex anyway as a youngster. One thing can't wait to get grown for. But if you're going to promote it, promote safe sex, man. They don't even do that. Just pushing that damn gay agenda. It's more to life than that. And white folk just playing us for fools, dog. Do you think that all of this is just randomly done? No, it's all scripted. Even reality TV is scripted. I know you know that. Nothing happens by accident, particularly not in media. It's all scripted. Now, let's take a look at black representation on TV. The evolution of black representation on television. Since the late 1940s, watching TV has been a popular American pastime. Television entertains us, educates us, and helps shape our views of the world. Television. The brain doesn't think in words. The brain thinks in photos, in pictures. Everything you remember is a picture. Even if you smell something that smells like my grandmama's sugar cookies, you get a vision in your head of grandmama's cookies, a picture of grandmama in the kitchen making them damn cookies, or when you walked in her house, but it's always going to be a visual in your brain. Very powerful. Television also has been a primary source of America's racial education. Early television really reflected a very narrow representation of non-white characters, and a lot of the early characters were caricatures and racist depictions in many ways. Remember Gone with the Wind? Butterfly McQueen? That's the image white people are comfortable with. Fat black woman with a rag on her head. Do you ever notice in commercials and TV shows, the black woman's always a fat black chick, dark-skinned? There's a reason behind that. Have you ever noticed that? What's that? The Talk or whatever with Cheryl Underwood. Everyone else is slim and sexy except the black chick. Commercials, always a fat black chick. That's because they want to portray to the world that healthcare is so expensive because of these overweight black people, not the fat ass Hispanics or the fat ass trailer park white women. Healthcare is expensive because these niggas can't control themselves. And they're eating their way to the grave. So to portray that, we put the worst of the worst up. Every other woman is beautiful. The Hispanic girl, the Asian girl. The white girl is intimidated by the beauty of the black woman. Why do you think black women look so masculine today? By design. Can't really argue because we didn't put ourselves here. It was by design, social engineering. So it's the way we're portrayed in media. So it's the reason we have no black media. Look what Oprah Winfrey did. When Oprah had her show, she beat down black people. Well, she beat down black men. We were dogs. We wasn't no good. Then Oprah flipped and became a show for the white women. Who put her on, though? See, that's what they do. They come to us to get put on. Ain't shit cool in America till black folks say it's cool. That's why they treat us like the family dog. They hate us, but they would never let you go anywhere. Let's release reality. Suspend reality momentarily. We could say a ship, but since we're suspending reality, we're going to make it a spaceship. Let's say this spaceship comes down. Robert Guillaume was in a show such as this back in the late 80s. They want all the black people to board this ship. They got another place for us. You think these white folk finna let you go? Now let's bring it down a little bit. Let's say Russia has all this land in Western Russia. It's just out there. Never mind the weather. It's cold as hell or whatever. We suspend reality. And Russia say, okay, American blacks, ADOS, Foundational Black Americas, you all can have that land and we won't bother you. White folk in America ain't letting your ass go nowhere. Who's going to come up with the fashion, the culture, the music, which the music sucks today? Where are the R&B groups? Where are the bands? Earth, Wind, and Fire, Confunction. There. Nothing in America is cool until we say it's cool. Everybody want to be black till it's time to deal with real black problems. These folks ain't finna let you go. I don't give a damn what they tell you, how much they tell you they hate you. Deep down, they need you. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. Same thing in media. Remember last year when them black TikTokers shut it down? We got power, but we just don't understand our power. because they spend billions of dollars to keep black people separated. Billions. Social engineering. People have been studying us for centuries. We don't have one think tank to study white people. We just know how they are. Fragile, mediocre. People ain't finna let you go nowhere, because wherever you go gonna be the blow up spot. Them youngsters shut TikTok down. Them white kids didn't come up with nary a dance. The one gay dude did some little thing where he was telling them we ain't messing with you. They tried to make a dance out of that. Remember the movie Soul Food? What the grandmama say? I'll insert that right here, the grandmama. I hope I can find it.
Now I'm going to tell you something. One finger pointing the blame don't make no impact. But you ball up all them fingers into a mighty fist and you can strike a mighty blow.
Yeah. Separate, we're all fingers. But when we become that fist, we can strike a mighty blow. But we just don't understand the power we have with each other because dollars are spent to keep us separated. Black television, black movies, black radio. We don't own our own. Blacks in the media have historically been portrayed in films as pimps, hustlers, prostitutes, maids, gangbangers, drug addicts, alcoholics, junkies, and crime-ridden thieves. This is how they portray us. Remember in the heat of the night back in the 1960s, Sidney Poitier. They call me Mr. Tibbs. When he slapped the shit out that white dude. There was a lot of debate about allowing that to be in that movie. Did you know that? It's the 1960s. Late 50s, early 60s. You can't show the world a black man slapping the shit out of a white boy. White America would be uncomfortable with that. Very impactful. They don't want you niggas to get riled up. But this is how they portray us. Maids, prostitutes, pimps, drug addicts, all that. Though filmmakers would describe these roles as simply reflecting life's realities in Technicolor, but were these depictions subconsciously impacting the essence of black creativity, culture, and identity? Of course it was. Then along came Bill Cosby. You even had dumbass niggas saying, that's not real. Because you're locked into this box. You have these blinders on. This is where we get this thing where you talk like you're white and you're acting white because you think being smart, being intellectual is only something white folk have. You're a human being, fam. If I put in the effort, I win. See, life should be like sports. No matter your race, creed, color, or religion. You commit a foul, a penalty, then a flag is thrown on the play. But in America, it's not designed that way. You talk about so many black men being in prison. White men would be there too. They get arrested at the same rate, but they don't get the conviction. Either gets thrown out or they get probation. Doesn't count as a felony conviction. I know I'm getting off topic here, but crack cocaine was a criminal deal back in the 80s, the 90s. I went to the dentist today. Met a young white girl named Jordan. Her and her family moved here in December to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The reason Jordan left Oregon, because a lot of her friends were hooked on drugs. You know why? Because in Oregon, they made all drugs legal. Fentanyl is legal. Heroin is legal. Crack cocaine is legal. Marijuana is legal. Say she doesn't even call home anymore because all she hears is, hey, did you hear about John? He overdosed. Did you hear about Karen? She overdosed. Say she don't even call home anymore. Over the weekend, I saw this guy somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. You remember the old newspaper machines? Put your quarter in, pull it open, get your paper out. He's converted them to Narcan stands. Well, you can go get a free thing of Narcan. Do you know what Narcan is? Narcan is if you overdose on opioids, you take it, bang, and it keeps you from overdosing. When it was us, they just took us to prison. Like Joe Biden said, I don't give a damn how they got in the situation they got in. We need to fix it. But these white people, go to Push Gap TV 1. There is a video up about the disparity in race in dealing with drugs. Now let's get back on topic. As time goes on, we start to see more black folks and we start to see them move from peripheral or secondary characters into primary focus. But for a while in television, you had extremes. You had the black criminal stereotype and all the negative tropes associated with blackness on the one hand. Then you had good, assimilating, respectable black characters on the other hand. I's a good nigga. Let's only get in good trouble. You notice how they sexualize black women in all media. They just slut puppies. Check this out.
Let's talk black women's sexualization in media. This one white guy in the comments really didn't understand how she could say that black women are hypersexualized, often in a demeaning way, but they still aren't the beauty standard because he thinks that being hypersexualized is the same as being the beauty standard. But it's a pretty simple concept. Being treated like a sex object, not the same as being seen as beautiful and desirable and worthwhile holistically. The conversation evolved a bit as his racist views started to peep out a little bit, but here's where it gets really interesting, and this is what I want to talk about. I basically said the reason that black women are hypersexualized in so many forms of media, whether it's music, television, movies, whatever, is because white audiences are cool with that and they respond to those kinds of depictions of black women, right? He started talking about Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, and I was like, that doesn't change anything I'm saying because most people who consume hip-hop are white. At least in the US, and that is true. And he did not like this because he had this notion, and many other people also have this notion, that what they don't like about hip-hop culture and aspects they see of black culture shown on the TV screens is all just because us black people are degenerates and that's what we value in our culture. Now, if you've done a lick of research or just thought about it critically, hip-hop, which is now the most popular singular genre of music in the US, is predominantly consumed by white people. That doesn't mean that black people don't listen to it a lot. But there's so many more white people in this country than any other kind of person. And so, for something to become very popular broadly, it has to be consumed a lot by white folks. In the music industry, its depictions of blackness are depictions that work for white folks, depictions that they're comfortable with, depictions that they feel are valid. This rant and the rant of other people who have low-key racist views like he does, that anything distasteful in media created by black artists that's super popular is because black people consume it and we decide what. That's not how consumption of things like this works. The creators of a lot of this media are black, but the executives, advisors, marketers, the people who select these artists and decide who becomes popular are not black. And that doesn't mean they're all sinisterly evil, but it means their perception of what feels real or gritty or authentic for a black artist is affected by their perception. And this goes for the hypersexualization of a lot of these black artists that we see. And then it becomes a vicious cycle. Yeah, this, just like other trends in hip-hop, is catered towards a white audience.
Yeah. Over-sexualized, which doesn't mean beautiful, like you just heard, but they just over-sexualize. That's how we're portrayed, because the black female has a beautiful body. You done seen them white women with them Asian bodies. No acetol. Yeah. White men see that. Why do you think back in the day white women made white men make a law for black women to cover their hair? They were beautiful. White women couldn't compete. In the 80s, The Cosby Show depicted a black affluent family who were different from the way that blacks were mostly portrayed in mainstream TV at the time. But in the show, issues were not dealt with in a very racially specific way. Now, the show Blackish comes along some 20, 30 years later, and it's more explicitly engages with what it means to be black in the context of being an affluent or professionally successful family. Mainstream networks and certain boutique networks in the past had very specific types of blackness that they were interested in exploring and were somewhat rigid in how they were willing to depict black characters and experiences. However they depict us, we're made to look bad. It makes them feel comfortable because they can't compete. Even with the gays, they're always shown as overly feminine, sassy gay guys. And then they're always in a relationship with a white guy. Television commercials, it's always interracial because the white folks' numbers are falling quickly. Bill Gates talking about depopulation. Nigga, your numbers falling. You better focus on your deal. You think getting rid of other people is going to save you when white women ain't having no babies? That's your problem. But I digress. Now, a show I did love was Bridgerton. You ever watch Bridgerton? Jackie O got me on Bridgerton. First season. I haven't watched second season. Jackie O has. Bridgerton doesn't even look at race. It totally ignores the reality of race. These people are dukes and bishops or whatever the hell they are. But you have your station in life predicated on what you yourself accomplished. No one looks at your color. I found that odd when I first watched it. Why can't all media be like that? Because the only people white folk can be superior over, nigga, is you. The Asians have their own culture. The Italians. Everyone has their own culture. For black people to feel superior, they have to keep their boot on our neck. But with the influx of cable networks and digital platforms such as Netflix, punk ass, who won't put up a black show and got me scrolling for 20, 30 minutes, there are more opportunities for people to engage with different and more complex stories about the black experience and for black people to find a reflection of themselves in their communities on TV. Well, I'm not going to say all of that. Just told you I'd be scrolling looking for a damn black show. Racially biased media coverage has been a substantial factor contributing to unreliable and unjust outcomes in the criminal legal system. News medias have often reinforced a presumption of guilt and dangerousness assigned to black people when reporting on crime, while devaluing the lives of black people and the harm they suffer when victimized. They always blame blacks as the victim. When you're the victim, it's your fault. Because you don't have your own. They should do a better job in eliminating racially biased coverage. Now, they had a report out, and this is what they found. Mugshots were used in coverage of 45% of cases involving black people accused of crimes, compared to only 8% of cases involving white defendants. 45%, 8%. White victims were nearly 4 times more likely to be presented in photos with friends and families than black people victimized by crime. The picture is always dark, and they're always going to tell something in your background that you did wrong. He burnt the cookies when he was in the 3rd grade. Media coverage was 50% more likely to refer to white defendants by name as compared to black defendants. That's how you know a white person done it. There was a mass shooting today, and the perpetrator is still on the loose. Now, that's when they'll do that. Research has shown that television has a powerful influence in shaping views about black people. If all you knew about black families was what national news outlets reported, you're likely to think African Americans are overwhelmingly poor, relying on welfare, absentee fathers, and criminals, despite what government data shows. Let's look at advertising. Told you about LeBron James on that Vogue cover. Remember H&M? The little black boy was the coolest monkey in the jungle. Racial tropes are commonly used to target a particular demographic, which tends to lead to insult. Stereotypes in advertising include creating caricatures based upon a perceived notion of a particular group. The limited amount of time given for a commercial advertisement leads to simplified characters who may employ archetypal traits. Audiences use stereotypes to fill in the holes in a general character's backstory. Within a 30-second commercial, advertisers rely on audiences' preconceived notions to understand a character and a situation based on the strict prioritization of their time. Stereotypes facilitate a collective but unspoken understanding of the meaning of the commercial, even if the stereotype is damaging to the affiliated group. Whitewashing. Whitewashing is used in the advertising industry to show a preference for European traits. White women are the standard of beauty in America and globally. Now that you think about it. But whitewashing is used to show a preference for European traits. Whitewashing refers specifically to digitally altering the image of a model to make their appearance fairer. They stated that the standards of beauty for women are impossible, but especially so for women of color who are considered beautiful only insofar as they resemble the white ideal, light skin, straight hair, Caucasian features, round eyes. Whitewashing is a technique used by advertisers to appeal to a perceived societal ideal. Let's give you an example. L'Oreal Paris was accused of whitewashing Beyonce's skin and hair color for their advertising campaign. The accusation suggested that they edited her to be light-complected and light-haired for their published images. L'Oreal received tremendous backlash for this incident, namely from the black community. Outraged individuals argued that the altered images diminished the black community and sent a poor message to Beyonce's young fans. Have you seen Serena Williams? Have you seen Sammy Sosa? Have you seen them? The skin bleaching. Because you see the standard of beauty as white folks. That's why black women had to perm their hair. Had to make white folk feel comfortable. You can't have an afro. They feel that's uncivilized, even though that is your natural hair, the way it grows out your hair, the way God sent you here. Our hair defies gravity, but that's uncouth to have a fro, to have your hair natural. This last few years, we just got the Crown Act. How you got to make a law for something I was damn born with? Because we ain't running shit. we should have our own with all the money black entertainers and athletes and rappers and whatnot have. Here are examples of racial stereotyping in media. Stereotypes directed at people of Asian descent represent well-educated individuals with a high work ethic. Commercials with these stereotypes tend to exist within advertising that promotes technology and business more than other races. Asian people were in ads to take place in the workplace or office setting in 50% of the print ads that they are featured in, compared to other races that were featured in more leisure-oriented ads. From 2003, ads that feature Asian American men often perpetuate a stereotype of success and sacrifice to achieve financial awards. Latin people are drastically underrepresented in the media, featured with speaking roles in only 1% of television ads. Usually there's a voiceover. And then only 4.7% of television ads overall in the early 2000s. In a study done by Mastro and Stern in 2003, examining frequencies of different races in commercials, Latin people advertise soap or hygiene products in 43% of ads that they're featured in, closely followed by other non-occupational roles promoting clothing or footwear. Ads also more frequently sexualize Latin populations. They found that Latin populations to participate in advertisements that portrayed subservient and blue-collar labor roles. Additionally, advertisements featuring Latin people poke fun at accents, implement Spanglish, and emphasize cliches. Now, how do they portray black people in commercials? Stereotypes of black people common in advertisements are a connection to hip-hop music. Everything has hip-hop music in it today. Like all black people, nigga, whether you 9 or 90, you're into hip-hop. Not smooth jazz, not reggae, not R&B, not neo-soul. You just love hip-hop because you black, right? Nigga, I stopped at Tupac. What I did get into, them boys out of Louisiana. Okay, Master P now. But yeah, Tupac, Biggie them for me. Black men in commercials also have exceptional physiques and athletic ability, demonstrated by a young man playing basketball in a Kellogg's commercial, or the variety of athletes in EA Sports advertisements for basketball, soccer, and video games. Always sports. That's all we're good for. Similarly, a typical representation for black women is the angry black woman stereotype, where the woman is portrayed as irrational and violent. Other stereotypes may include hypersexualization, which we covered for you a few minutes back in the show. And dehumanization of black people is demonstrated through an ad by Ling's Car that received complaints about trivializing Black Lives Matter movement and stereotyping by playing off the offensive phrase, once you go black, you never go back. The ad posted on Facebook read, once you go black, you never go black, and black cars matter. Treat you any kind of way. Take over your causes. Just take over everything. The media is used for fear and is used to manipulate black people to vote for Democrats. Check this out.
Police violence against black people is always magnified by media during election season, using fear to manipulate the black vote towards the Democratic side. No legislation is ever created to protect them.
Let me tell you people something y'all do not know. They are scared of y'all. The black community. Y'all single-handedly own the power and you can't even see it. The Democrats are so terrified that y'all are going to wake up and see their shit and they're going to lose their power. They know that y'all single-handedly hold the cards to all of this shit in this nation. God, please just wake up and see what kind of control you actually have. If you really want to get technical, y'all are the ones that can save this country. Because the minute that y'all actually see through their bullshit is when they lose their wealth. Talk about white privilege. They will lose their wealth. They bank on y'all. They bank on y'all. The president, oh God, what was his name? He was the president. Oh, I should have found that information out. He said, we will have the N. He used the N-word. Their vote for the next 200 years, so we got it. They bank on y'all remaining stagnant with their bullshit. I can't wait to see this shit unfold because I'm going to tell you, there's one by one, they waking up. Y'all better get ready. One by one, they're waking up to rich man's bullshit and they're seeing and they're standing their ground. And once they lose the black vote, it's on like a Donkey Kong.
Yeah. New black media is out now. You have people like Yvette Carnell. You have Professor Black Truth. You have Tariq Nasheed. You have Michi X. You have the Black Authority. You have Crimson Cure. You have the Philip Scott Show. You have PushGapRadios.com. New black media. Not Roland Martin. Not Joy Reid. Not these people who are out here tap dancing and buck dancing for the Democrats and pushing the white folks' agenda. We should just get in good trouble. When are we going to wake up? It's been centuries of social engineering. We don't own our own. He who controls the images controls your ass. Listen more to new black media. You can't expect Jay-Z and them to do it for you because the Illuminati won't allow it, quote unquote. Do what you're told, nigga, or we'll take it from you. Do what you told, or I got a sentence for you. The operative two words are bullet and head. Ask Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, Medgar Evers, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The list goes on. We don't have our own. What we did have has been taken from us. We used to have over 300 black-owned radio stations. Just because you're listening to a black radio station, a hip-hop station in your area, who is it owned by? New black media is the ground roots. And that's where you need to be. Did you know that black people are the only race of people who have to tell other people in their group to support them? Support black business. When you ever seen a sign that says support Hispanic business, support Irish business, support Asian business? We're the only ones. Why do you think that is? We own nothing. Because whenever we own something, they burn it down. There was this guy who opened this business in a mall up in Chicago. Place was doing great. Some other businesses had to get him out of the paint. Several weeks later, there was a fight a little ways down from his place. They blamed it on his spot, took his lease and shut him down. There was another black guy that had a restaurant in this strip mall area. Place was jumping. They got rid of him. Brought in a white boy who opened up the same type establishment. See, we have a place here called True Kitchen and Cocktails. Downtown Dallas on the corner of Harwood and Elm. Place be hot as fish grease, always jumping, fam. I'm shocked they ain't shut that brother down. If you're not familiar with it, a year or two back, there was a big to-do about this chick twerking on the table in this man's establishment. That was True Kitchen and Cocktails. To show that we're not accountable for shit. The man went in on the chick. And they got on and gave the man a bad Yelp review. They got on and went on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. Trying to bring the man down. No one ever said a damn thing to the chick that was in here twerking. We don't have our own. We cannot tell our own story. Again, Bill Clinton deregulated radio in 1993. Instead of owning one station in a market, now you can own as many as you want. And when you got money, like them white folk got, they come in here and buy it up. What is Byron Allen going to do with the Black News Channel? Is he going to talk about our issues? Or is it going to be the same shit white folk talking about? He's pushing their agenda. See, we're not stupid anymore. That's a good thing. We're not stupid anymore. You just can't tell us anything. Nothing beats ownership, though. Let's look at pushgapradios.com. I'm working it from the ground up. We've been off the air for close to 2 years, just came back on this year. Now, what if I get it to a place where every week on the YouTube channel, I got 144,000 views, and on the podcast, I've got well over 250,000 downloads. Because I'm talking to my people. FUBU. You know. For us, by us. What's the first thing the white folk gonna do? First, they're gonna try to buy me out. And if they can't buy me out, the next thing is to shut me down. You got to show support. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. That would help us tremendously. Thank you to the 3 people who subscribed to the channel on YouTube, PushGap TV 1. Thank you. We were trying to get to 10. Now we're trying to get to 20 subscribers. If you do nothing else, please subscribe. It costs you nothing. I'm not asking you for anything. No money, Cash App if you would like to. Our Cash App is PushGap Radios 1 at Cash App if you would like to support the show. But I'm not asking for you to go in pocket or to give me anything. Just click on the subscribe button. Click on the like button. You know, like you do for some of the dumb shit you listen to. The cat playing the piano. Okay. I'm not trying to beat you down. I worked on that more myself when I listened, because back in the day, I didn't subscribe or like or click on people's stuff. But latter part of last year, I started doing that. These people go through a lot to put this program together to entertain me. The least I can do is subscribe to their show. It don't cost me a damn thing. The least I can do is give them a like. And if it's profound and interesting enough, I'll leave a comment on whether I liked it or not. Support black media. Again, black folks are the only ones who have to tell their people or ask their people to support their black business. Thank you for making a part of our world, a part of your world. And just be careful on how we're portrayed. We have a lot of power. The thing that was real big is, I don't know if you remember, when Cynthia Erivo came out playing Harriet Tubman. First off, chick, you ain't us. You don't get to play our heroes. John Leguizamo was upset about somebody playing Castro or some shit, I think it was. And let me look up Yvette Carnell real quick, because she said something about it. And he was saying the same thing. You don't get to play our heroes because you're not us. Yeah, why John Leguizamo can't play Castro either. Okay. And I understand totally what she's saying there. You remember this one show, Leaving Netherland or some such, where they had the light-skinned English guy playing Michael Jackson? Now, what if you had a light-skinned black guy playing Elvis? Or playing Frank Sinatra? Image is powerful. These people understand that. It's all about ethnicity. Saying the man can't play Fidel Castro because he's not them. But with us, anybody can play our heroes. But black media shut down Cynthia Erivo. Chick, you ain't us. You don't get to play Harriet Tubman because you came over here from London by way of Africa. Not knocking you. You black. You're part of the diaspora. We love you. But just like you people classify yourselves, we do too. She played Aretha Franklin. We're more powerful than we think. Black media was the one who shut down Kamala Harris in 2020. We're more powerful than we think. We hold way more power than we realize, but we let media tell us that we're insignificant and powerless. Think about that. Never average, never mediocre, online, on point, and on the freaking money. Pray until something happens. God always provides. At pushgapradios.com, the power is in the name. Never average, never mediocre. Online, on point, and on the money, baby. Pushgapradios.com. On and on and on. We're here for you. We talk about issues that affect you. We talk about issues that you would like to hear about. At least we hope so. That is our aim. That is our goal. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Hope to see you guys on next week. PushGapRadios.com. Dallas, baby. And we're out. See you next week.
Pray until something happens. God always provides. At PushGapRadio.com, the power is in the name.
Never average, never mediocre. We're online, on point, and on the money. Jackal Ford won in the main event only on PushGapRadio.com.
PushGapRadio.com. Bridging the gap between old school and new school radio. PushGapRadio.com. It's Dallas, baby.